The greatest coach in college football history is retiring. Alabama's Nick Saban is officially stepping down at the end of the 2023 season. He concludes his career at Alabama with 6 national championships, 206 victories, and goes out in a season where you could argue it was one of his best coaching jobs at Alabama. The search is now on to replace Nick Saban, and as always, replacing a legend is never going to be easy. This job is one of the best in college football, but it's also going to be very hard for the next coach to replicate or match Nick Saban's success. Nick Saban will cast a very large shadow over the program for the next couple years. I'm Steven Lasson of All CFB 365. Who could replace Nick Saban at Alabama? Here are some names to watch in what is going to be a fascinating coaching search in the world of college football. The first and most obvious name that comes to mind is Dan Lanning, the head coach at Oregon. He worked in Tuscaloosa as a graduate assistant in 2015. He also has SEC experience from working at Georgia under Coach Kirby Smart from 2018 to 2021. He's also 22-5 at Oregon as the head coach since taking over in 2022. The next coach that could be a fit in Tuscaloosa is Steve Sarkisian, the head coach at Texas. He was an analyst at Alabama in 2016, later worked as the program's offensive coordinator in 2019 and 2020. He's 25-14 as the head coach at Texas. The Longhorns have been trending in the right direction over the last couple seasons, including a trip to the college football playoff in 2023. Florida State's Mike Norvell is another name that could make a lot of sense at Alabama. Norvell is 31-17 since taking over in Tallahassee. The Seminoles just won the ACC this year, finished 13-1, ranked in the top 10. Under Mike Norvell's watch, Florida State has gone from a team outside the top 25 very much to the top of college football. Once again, Norvell has turned Florida State back into a national championship contender. Clemson's Dabo Swinney is another candidate to watch. He's a former player. He also worked at Alabama as an assistant coach. He's been an incredibly successful head coach at Clemson, won 2 national championships. He's 170-43 as the program's head coach. Obviously, due to his ties with Alabama, there's no doubt about it, his name will come up in this search. As one of the best jobs in college football, there's no doubt that this search is going to attract several big-time candidates. In other words, when you're making your coaching list here, think big in terms of replacements. If we have to throw out a few wild cards here, let's keep in mind Lane Kiffin, the head coach at Ole Miss, is a former Nick Saban assistant. He coached at Alabama, was the offensive coordinator. He's 34-15 as the head coach at Ole Miss. Would he be a great fit in Tuscaloosa? He's obviously a name that's going to come up due to his former ties with the program. And 2 other names to watch, successful head coaches. James Franklin, the head coach at Penn State. He's got SEC experience from a stint at Vanderbilt, 88-39 as the head coach at Penn State. And finally, Washington's Kalen DeBoer, another coach that has been successful at every level. He doesn't have experience within the SEC, but he went 25-3 over the last 2 years at Washington and took this program to the national championship in his second year at the program. As we mentioned, this is a coaching search that is going to have major ramifications throughout college football. It's one of the best jobs in the sport, not to mention the domino effect that could happen with big-time coaches leaving a program to take the Alabama job. Stay tuned and subscribe here at All CFB 365. We're going to stay on top of this coaching search, any others that come up, and also how this will impact college football and going into the 2024 season.